Hi, I'm Gail Sokol, and welcome to my kitchen. How many of you have ever bitten into a pie and the bottom crust is soggy? I actually hate that. So I'm going to help you prevent that when you make your own pies and tarts. And there are 3 great ways to prevent this. So it can be used for any type of pie, whether it's a custard pie, a cream pie, it doesn't matter. So the first way is I like to take my pie crust, whether it's baked or not, and put in some finely crushed cookies or cake. So you can actually take a pound cake. You can actually take crushed up sugar cookies like I have here. You could even do a donut, as long as it's not a filled donut, a plain donut, and finely grind it up. Even a frozen pound cake or a piece of a cupcake without frosting. Just grind it up. Maybe about a half a cup would be enough. You sprinkle it on the bottom of that pie before you put on your filling. And then you can bake it, or if it's baked blind, you would have already baked it and then you would just put that on and it would soak up any moistness that would come between your filling and the crust. So it acts as a barrier, okay? The second way you can prevent a soggy bottom is to take an egg white and actually take the egg white, brush it over the pie crust, and put it in the oven for about 2 or 3 minutes. This works really well for a crust that's been baked blind. That means without a filling in it first, so the crust bakes by itself. You want to let that egg white firm up and cook, and that leaves this very, very thin barrier of protein, and you'll never taste it. I promise you, you'll never taste it, but it will prevent a soggy bottom. And the last most fun way is to take about a half a cup of mini chocolate chips, and right when your pie crust is coming out of the oven, and I have one right now that's baked blind, I'm going to go get it, and we're going to put some mini chocolate chips in it and let them melt. So my tart that I've baked blind has just come out of the oven, and it's still nice and hot, and this is the perfect opportunity. So I'm going to take half a cup of mini chocolate chips, and mini chocolate chips will take a little less time to melt than the larger ones. And be sure you put a hot mitt on so you don't burn yourselves. Give it a minute, even less than a minute, and as this melts, we're going to spread it all around the bottom. Now, if you have a pie crust that's not hot, you can actually melt your chocolate ahead of time and just spread it around. I have an offset spatula, and I'm going to use this to spread it. So I can feel my chocolate melting. And I'm just going to give it a minute. You can see there it goes. Again, you're trying to make a barrier. Once it melts, I usually let it firm up for a few minutes. You can either put it in the fridge or you can just leave it at room temperature because the chocolate will melt, will firm up pretty easily. I'm going to rotate this so I can get all the way around. You see how it's melting really nicely. And it is hot, that's why I've got my hot mitt. This is a super delicious way to make a barrier, because this actually will add flavor. And you can do this with white chips. You could do this if you wanted to with even peanut butter chips, depending on the type of pie you have. Or you could even do semi-sweet or milk chocolate chips. See, there you go. Look how beautiful that spreads. So there you have it, 3 ways to prevent a soggy bottom crust. For more videos, go to my website, gailsokol.com.